what we talking about here is what if a group of people want to spend their money, buy some land, build on that land, and say, hey, we only want people from our culture to be here. How we feel about that? What we think about that? That's a serious question. How we feel about that and what we think about that? Just on that premise, if you watching on YouTube, let's get this like that, right? Alright. Just on that premise, right? If you watching on, damn, man, hold on, why that? That's good, man, right there. Yo, if you watching, just on that premise, that premise alone, the one I just explained to you, do you see an issue with a group of people doing that? If you see this on YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, wherever you watch this at, comment and let us know. But without further ado, let's get to this. Warning.
What we've done here is establish a place where we have control over who our neighbors are, and that is just for the sake of preserving, our culture.
And that culture, effectively, we're saying this is a white culture.
Now look, y'all know I like to pause. If you've been watching me for long enough, you board 9 gang, you know how I do. Just on that, we would like to choose who our neighbors is. How many of you out there watching, whether you right wing or left wing, have thought to yourself, you ever had a neighbor like, man, I would like to choose who my neighbor could be? Come on, my nigga, tell me the truth.
What's wrong with you?
Don't lie.
What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with y'all? You niggas are crazy.
It don't make no sense lying, bro. We know all humans of any color regardless don't come with the same mind. You'll get a neighbor, move next door to you, disturb your peace. Music loud than a motherfucker. Ass shaking, booty clapping, music. Tuesday, 2 o'clock in the morning. A lot of people talk about homeless stuff now, like where homeless people can set up camp anywhere. Laws in place where you can't even do nothing. You just pick your crib. Yep, I'm about to set up right here. I'm from the hood. At some points, I know it was people saying to me like, hey, this guy's not a good neighbor. He's pushing the druggeroni Tonys from right here. He's armed and dangerous. Back when I used to be armed and dangerous.
You tell me,
I changed
peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly. There she go, the lady of my dreams.
I'm not the same person. But who ain't never wanna have the control of where they live and who live next to them? Let me tell y'all something. Criminals and hood, they want those kind of people living next to them too. Be snitch, will be out telling the police on me.
It's only place.
White American culture.
Over the last year and a half, high up in the Ozark Hills in the state of Arkansas, dozens of people have been working hard, leveling the land, building houses.
Check them out. They
call
doing
it
work
an
though.
intentional community based around shared ancestry, a long-winded way of saying something really quite simple.
I think we would generally be called far right, sure.
It's called Return to the Land, and they invited me in.
A lot of people are going to be, why are you making Nazi references?
Right.
Well, why wouldn't I?
a seemingly bucolic and sometimes surreal experience. But this is built on a radical modern premise, made possible
Is it now?
because of a new political and technological moment. One with strong ties to the most active far-right groups in the US. Instead of taking to the streets, they are building their own, for generations to come.
It's important for me to do this for my ancestors, my friends, my family, my children, my children's children.
Oh, she felt it. She got purpose. She got purpose with her shit, gang.
But in this southern US state, people who have lived through segregation once fear it is returning.
When you hear things like that, it causes you to be fearful. And you don't know who to trust.
Its founder says he is building a fortress for the white race.
Yo.
It's a racial association. I kind of want to ask you, after seeing this, do you think what we're doing is immoral?
Do you think what they doing is immoral? Like, is it any issue with what they doing if they not hurting somebody? Yo, stories like this, they get me going a little bit. I know what some people will be saying. Boo, ain't you on the other side? I'm not on the other. Listen, I'm not nobody natural op. I'm not opposed on the other side of nothing. How is that possible? But why, boo? Because I choose that shit? No, bro. If they got a community and they like, hey, we got real estate here and we only selling to whites. First of all, they in Arkansas. No disrespect to Arkansas.
What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with y'all? You niggas are crazy.
But I never had plans on moving to Arkansas, traveling to Arkansas. And I seen the show Banging in Little Rock. Y'all remember Banging in Little Rock? I know they got hoods down there and gangbangers and black people shooting each other. I know it's weird stuff going on there. I don't got no issues with what they doing down there in Arkansas. I don't got no issues with no group of people who want to preserve their culture if they feel like their culture is under attack or being manipulated or swept under the rug. We've seen countless people at some point step up and be like, hold on. We want to preserve our culture. Whether they Latin, African, whatever. So a lot of white people feel like they is under attack by the media, especially left-wing media, by just the country in general. You have people running around saying shit like, every white person is inherently racist. We not allowed to do that with no other race. So I'm not saying, look, some of y'all might want to argue, it's cool, I get it. But we ain't allowed to say that about nobody. You better not say every black person is inclined to do crime. Somebody be like, what? Every human is inclined to do crime if you put them in the right situation and they desperate. And that's fucking true. What about being biased? Every human, or prejudice, every human. But they say, black people can't be racist. But hey, you know what? I guess it's just not fair, right? It ain't meant to be fair, right?
Arkansas, in the southern United States.
Welcome to Little Rock, where the local time is 4:20.
Banging in Little Rock.
For the last few years, I've been exploring how an ethno-nationalist movement has been organising online. A network that aims to define countries by ethnicity, but which links across borders. And this is the place that one group has chosen to put that into radical, real-world action.
You want a white nation? Build a white town. It can be done, and we're doing it.
It is an extreme view, but it draws on more familiar arguments. That mass immigration is out of control, that Western societies are in danger of losing their fundamental character as a result.
So one of the arguments here is that this isn't about persecution of an ethnic identity, but protection of an ethnic identity, and that identity happens to be white. So we're going here now up into these pretty remote woods to really put that to the test.
We are driving deep into the Ozark Mountains.
Yeah.
Group's leaders are not from Arkansas, and they've chosen these remote parts for a reason. All the locals I spoke to knew only a little about the group, if anything.
I don't necessarily agree with it, but that's not my choice.
Yeah, but do you think they should have the freedom to do it?
That's what they want to do.
I think it's kind of a little fishy around here, but just be safe.
The leader of the group is called Eric All, and he's invited me to spend a few days with them.
Hey,
yo.
Eric.
He insists what he is.
And yo, sometimes when you have a dislike for people, or even if you got like a hatred for people, right? What can happen sometimes is you won't see like tenacity and ambition or like love. Like, I believe love is the highest level of understanding, right? In order for you to put things together sometimes, you gotta have an understanding of how people feel. You know the one thing about being brainwashed, or when people be brainwashed? It's an empty hole there that needs to be filled. We can go on and on about like how empty holes come about, like about how different traumas come about different things that you could go through. And then you got the other people who just wire it up wrong, right? But right now, we not running around complaining about air, because it's enough air to breathe. Some people might have missed that, but let's continue.
Doing here is entirely legal, and that's key, because if it is, it could be a blueprint for many other communities to come.
Welcome to the Ozarks.
Thank you very much.
And I think that you got black people that want to do stuff like that and attempting to do stuff like that. And later on, we're going to be talking about Dr. Umar. We're going to talk about Dr. Umar. We're going to do the comparisons. Why not?
What we've done here is establish a place where we have control over who our neighbors are, and that is just for the sake of preserving, our culture.
And that culture, effectively, we're saying this is a white culture, a whites-only place.
White American culture. Yeah, not just white, but white American.
But what this sounds like is bringing back segregation. Is that a fair assessment?
Well, I mean, it's free association. So we're not trying to keep other people down. This is a small settlement in the middle of the Ozarks.
But they are being kept out.
You don't let everyone into your home.
160 acres taking shape. Forest cleared, roads
You don't.
laid.
You're not supposed to. Some people will, though.
Around 40 people live here.
Get your kids traumatized and things of that
Hundreds
nature.
more from across the world have paid to be members. I'm intrigued to find out what motivates people to give up their old lives for this.
Flag hit a home run. Oh my God.
I met her on like day 3. So.
Oh my God, what a story. It beats Tinder, doesn't it? Like.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
David and Caitlin not only met here, they got married last month. They wouldn't be here without social media.
Somebody had posted a video of Eric.
Yeah.
I saw videos of them actually building stuff on the land. I was like, oh man, I gotta
Go ahead, Vlad.
And I figure if there's nothing else like this in the country, like, it should at least exist.
Yeah.
Like, do people really think that we should never be able to choose our neighbors.
It wouldn't be controversial for any other racial group to do the same thing.
I think it'd be quite controversial.
Well, if you don't have rules against it, then, you know, anyone of any race can come and be your neighbor, and they're watching the news, which is telling you that white people are, you know, the cause of all your problems and all the ills of society, and suddenly, you know, your children are much less safe because there's a lot of violence, anti-white violence happening to
Yo,
white
pay attention to what he's saying, yo.
And so,
specifically motivated by racism against white people. What sort of things the heavens are about to...
Yeah. I'd like to continue talking, but the rain starts and it comes down hard. The residents shelter in their cabins and night falls.
Yo.
The next morning.
My beliefs do be going like in another direction sometimes. Not beliefs, right? Cause I feel like sometimes, man, having morale, like fuck what you believe, right? There are some things that are like solid, like set in stone, right? Like there's some things that we all, if we could be like, we all be like, okay, this is a negative, this is a positive, this is a positive, this is a negative, right? Where I don't see nothing to have a gripe about, I find myself not griping about it. It don't matter if the masses of people that look like me deciding to have a gripe about something. When it comes to segregation, like, there are pros and cons to segregation. And even when you take away segregation, right? People will tend to segregate themselves based off of what? Mentalities, cultures, and things of that nature. So sometimes it could be like, it's like, yo, people can be running away from a particular culture. Medicare was supposed to have sent me a video where, I guess, 2 transgender dudes was jumping a girl or something crazy, or like, it's like, sometimes, like, especially when you get right-wing people, the distances that the far left might go, the people on the left, some of the stuff that they might do might just be so agitating. And then they see people going along, and it'll all start to feel like it's snowballing. And sometimes people got anxiety. A lot of those people there, right, they can have anxiety. Because they far right, maybe they only deal with far right media, right? And it's building up their anxiety. In the same way, you far left, dealing with the far left media, it could build up your anxiety. Sometimes I be feeling like, yo, America is a real fucking powder keg. Yo. Might be. I'm on shrooms.
Oh, okay, this one is about the team that jumped out the cruise, the